Hey guys, it's Cece, and today I'm here to do the spooky Halloween tag. Happy Halloween, everyone, at least if you are watching this on Halloween. This is an exciting video because I get to talk about Halloween things, but it's also a sad video because it is the last time I am filming in front of my wonderful Halloween shelves, and I'm gonna miss them, that's all I'm saying. The spooky Halloween tag is 30 questions long, and it was originally created by Simply Kenna. If you do not know who Simply Kenna is, she has a really fantastic YouTube channel that you should check out. So yeah, these are questions about Halloween-y things, creepy things, and I'm going to answer them all right now for you. Before we get started, I just have to say, look at my Hocus Pocus rings. I love them. I got them at Spirit. There's one for each of the witches, and I'm very, very happy. And with that out of the way, let's start talking about some of these spooky Halloween questions. Question 1 is, what is your favorite horror or Halloween-themed song? There is no answer that I could possibly give you besides the Monster Mash. It is the song I look forward to each and every year and that I listen to nonstop in the month of October. Question 2, name something you wouldn't want to run into in a dark forest or abandoned building. I mean, honestly for this, I want to say I wouldn't want to run into anything. As you're going to discover over the course of this video, I am a fraidy cat, so anything unexpected in either of those two locations would completely panic me. But I guess for a more specific answer, watching Blair Witch Project totally terrified me for months, so even though we don't know what she looks like, I wouldn't want to run into the Blair Witch because that's a real deep-seated fear for me. Question 3, have you ever played with a Ouija board? Really hope my family doesn't watch this. Yes, I have played with a Ouija board before. Question 4 is your favorite horror monster or your favorite villain? If we're just gonna talk villains in vaguely horror-themed things, I guess a couple of my favorites would probably be the Countess from American Horror Story Hotel. She's amazing. But also one of my all-time favorite movies that's creepy is Cabin in the Woods, and I think the guys who work in the office in Cabin in the Woods are really great. I don't know if they technically count as villains, but I really love Cabin in the Woods, so I gotta shout those guys out. Question 5, what is the creepiest thing that's ever happened to you while you were alone? I couldn't think of a really obvious answer for this. I have said in the past that as a child I was afraid of trees. We'll get into the reasoning for that later, but I was afraid of trees and my cousins made fun of me for this, so they would make up stories about the trees that would scare me even more. So like literally any scenario where I've been walking in the dark near trees and I hear sounds probably all rank evenly across the board as scariest thing ever. In my memory, like that's what sticks out to me. Question 6, if you were dared to spend the night in a haunted house, would you do it? Oh my god, no. I would not even consider doing that. Actually, okay, if it's a regular looking house in a regular neighborhood that people just say is haunted but it doesn't look scary, and I had someone else with me, I would consider it. But other than those specific circumstances, no, wouldn't even consider it. Not even kind of. Question 7, are you superstitious? Weirdly, considering how much of a fraidy cat I am, no, I'm not superstitious. Question 8, do you ever see figures in your peripheral vision? I don't know how to answer this because the thing is, I have an incredibly overactive imagination, which is why I can't handle watching scary things. So, I guess yes, but it's just because my brain is being ridiculous. So I do that thing that I feel like everyone does, where I think I see a figure in my peripheral vision and then I turn and it's just like a coat rack or a door is kind of open, and it's just because my brain can't calm down. And usually that happens after I watch something scary. Question 9, which urban legend scares you the most? I don't know if this still scares me, but I used to be terrified of the Hookman. I thought that was a really, really scary urban legend. Since I usually do book videos on this channel, I am going to take this moment to recommend a book to you. It's a nonfiction book called The Vanishing Hitchhiker, and it's basically a collection of different versions of urban legends across America, how they change from location to location, and it's super interesting. I'm pretty sure I remember the Hookman being in there, but I just thought that book was really fascinating, especially if you're into urban legends. Question 10, do you prefer gore or thrillers? Absolutely, thrillers, 100%. Question 11, do you believe in multiple dimensions or worlds? No, I do not. Question 12, ever made a potion of any sort? Not since I was a kid. When I was a kid, I would always make ridiculous potions in the kitchen where I would just mix together anything I could find, but I have not made anything potion-like since I was really little. Question 13, do you get scared easily? As already discussed in this, oh my god. A bird bird just flew in front of my window. That feels telling. Yeah, I'm easily scared. I'm a fraidy cat. I'm terrified of everything. Question 14, have you ever played Bloody Mary? I think I did once when I was a kid. I have this really vague memory of playing it with my cousins, but I can guarantee you that I was petrified and I probably didn't finish playing. I was probably there when other people were playing and I was still like, I don't believe in this, but just in case, could we all just, in case it's real, not do this? Even when I was a child, I feel like I was attempting to be the voice of reason in these situations. Question 15, do you believe in demons or the devil? Not really. I think this is particularly odd because I am fascinated by demons and demonic mythology. Any kind of stories that are along those lines I've always been really interested in and fascinated by. But despite that, I don't believe in demons at all, so maybe that's weird, maybe it's not, I have no idea. Question 16, you're home alone, but you hear footsteps in the house. What do you do? Okay, first, I would panic, but then, in all honesty, I would probably make the classic horror movie mistake and I would call out and ask who was there. I just feel like it's far more likely that someone I know has gotten into the house and is wandering around and didn't let me know they were there than a murderer, so even if it would get me dead, I would definitely be like, hello? Mom? Question 17. If you got trapped in one scary movie, which would you choose? So I thought about this for a long time because I can't handle anything scary, and I think what I've decided on is that I would like to be trapped in It. I haven't seen the original one, but I did go and see the new one that just came out, and let me explain my reasoning for wanting to be trapped in It of all the scary movies. There's this great post on Tumblr about Pennywise and how he scares people, and the fact that in the book, it is explained that basically he has a much harder time scaring adults. He has to focus on kids because of the nature of children's fears. So as a grown-up with slightly more abstract fears than children, I think Pennywise would have a much harder time scaring me, thus I wouldn't be involved with the main situation at all. That's my workaround. I would like to be trapped in It. I just want to see Pennywise try to become the abstract concept of failure. Give it a go, Pennywise. Question 18. If you could only wear one Halloween costume for the rest of your life, what would you be? I would be a witch. I have been a witch at multiple other points in my life. I went as a witch last year for Halloween. It's a great costume that you can use again and again, plus I really like witches, so. Question 19. Would you ever go into a graveyard at night? Yes, absolutely. I have and I would again. I don't find graveyards that scary. I'm really fascinated by graveyards, and I've been to a lot of them all over the world, so I definitely wouldn't mind going in one at night again. Question 20. In a zombie apocalypse, what is your weapon of choice? So I have absolutely no gun experience, not even, like, paintball gun experience. So I feel like that's right out, and I want to go with some kind of blunt instrument. I feel like I could really get swinging on something, you know? So I could fall back on my love of Shaun of the Dead and use a cricket bat, but I don't know where I would locate one of those. I feel like it would be pretty cool to be wielding a machete. Maybe that's my choice. Doesn't someone have one of those in The Walking Dead? I don't watch The Walking Dead, so I don't know what everyone's weapons are, but I feel like that would be a pretty good weapon of choice. Question 21. Would you rather go to a Halloween party or trick-or-treating? At this point in my life, I think I would rather go to a Halloween party. Question 22. You're in a horror movie. Are you the final girl, the comic relief, the first one to die, the skeptic, the smart one, or the killer? Envisioning it now, I feel like the smart one, but only because I'm the person who constantly questions everyone's decisions when I watch a scary movie. No, I don't know if anyone would ever actually make those decisions in real life, but I would definitely be the person in a horror movie scenario that was like, what if we don't split up? What if we went and got in the car? Who has a phone? Let's plan this situation out. But also, it's incredibly likely I could be the first to die. Question 23. Do you have to watch something happy after you watch a horror movie so you can sleep? Usually, yes. I have to watch or do something after I watch something scary so that my mind will shut off and that I'll have an easier time sleeping. Question 24. While watching a scary movie, are you the person who yells at all the characters, the person who has their eyes covered the whole time, or the person who falls asleep? I am the person who yells at the characters constantly. Sometimes it's because I'm actually exasperated with them, but also it's so I can pull myself out of the experience of the movie. Question 25. Are you the one who gets scared or are you the one who does the scaring? I feel like you guys can guess by now that I'm the one who gets scared. probably put that together. Question 26. What is your favorite scary book? I actually really like scary books. It's one of the few mediums that doesn't, like, haunt me afterwards. I can totally handle reading them and I'm not scared after. Having said that, I haven't read a lot of scary books, which is weird and I would like to read more. But I think two of my favorites are both books that I read last year, and that is The Dead House by Don Kurtagich, which was pretty spooky, and I also like Pet Sematary by Stephen King. I really like Stephen King, so that seems like a given answer. Oh, and Phantoms by Dean Koontz. That book was really spooky, but I really, really liked it. Question 27. How old were you when you saw your first horror movie? The first I have, like, a distinct memory of is Poltergeist, which I watched when I was around 8. That is where the fear of trees comes from, everybody. I watched Poltergeist way too early for me, and there is a scene in which a child is basically attacked by their tree. And for some reason, when I was 8, that is what my brain held on to, and I had a long-standing fear that during a lightning storm, a tree was going to come to life and it was going to eat me. Question 28. What was your very first Halloween costume? So my very first Halloween costume, I would have been like 6 months old, I think, and I was Pubert Adams. Let's all just cross our fingers real fast that editing CC can find a picture of me as Pubert Adams. If I manage to find a picture, here you go. My parents went as Pugsley and Wednesday Adams, and they dressed me as Pubert Adams. He was in, like, one spin-off Addams movie, like Addams Family Reunion, something along those lines, and Pubert was a baby with a mustache. And that was my first Halloween costume. Question 29. What are you going to be for Halloween this year? I've actually already done my Halloween dress up this year, and I went as Queen Elsa from Frozen. My sister and I have been wanting to do a Frozen duo costume for a long time, so this year when we actually got to be together for Halloween, we did Anna and Elsa. My mom makes costumes professionally, so she's been working on these for a long time. I also helped a ton. I did so much hand stitching on these costumes. But we had our big Halloween costume party a few days ago, and so this is when my sister and I went as Elsa and Anna. And finally, question 30. If you had to pick a Halloween pet, i.e. a black cat, an owl, a rat, a bat, or a wolf, something along those lines, what would you pick? I would 100% choose a black cat. I used to have a black cat. She was a sweetie and I loved her, and I would definitely have a black cat again in the future. Okay guys, there you go. That is the spooky Halloween tag. I'm super interested in this, so let me know in the comments below, what was your very first Halloween costume? I can't wait to read all of your answers. I hope you enjoyed hearing some of my answers for this tag. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video very soon. Have a very happy Halloween. Bye!